Stop being broke. 7 mind traps, keeping you poor. Written and published by Stoic Guardian. Introduction. Let us begin here, not with shame, not with blame, but with softness. There is something quietly painful about not having enough. It lingers in your chest like a low ache, not sharp but heavy. It whispers when you compare, it tightens when you try, and it feels like the world is always a few steps ahead, just out of reach. Maybe you've been working so hard, maybe you've tried being patient, maybe you've believed, even prayed, but still abundance feels like a guest who knocks on everyone's door but yours. This isn't just about money. It's about worthiness, about the story you've been told, or the one you've started to believe, that says you're not ready, not enough, or not meant for more. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are here, and this journey is about gently untying the knots that have kept you small. It's not about chasing more. It's about becoming more grounded in enough. Enough breath, enough courage, enough room to receive. So breathe, just for now. Let go of needing to figure it all out. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart be held. Let's begin together. Not with a solution, but with awareness. Chapter 1. The quiet weight of scarcity. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine carrying a backpack. It looks small from the outside, but it's filled with invisible stones, old fears, hand-me-down beliefs, generational echoes. Scarcity isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It just lingers. It lives in hesitation, in self-doubt, in the way you hold your breath before spending or apologize before asking. It's the silence after you say, "I can't afford that," even when what you meant was, "I'm afraid I never will." Scarcity makes you flinch when life offers you something beautiful, because beauty feels borrowed, not earned. You didn't choose this weight. It was handed to you, piece by piece, through stories, systems, and subtle moments. A parent stressed at the dinner table, a paycheck that vanished before it arrived, a voice that said, "Money doesn't grow on trees," before you even understood what money meant. But now, you're still carrying it. Scarcity makes the world feel smaller. It turns choices into traps, and it whispers lies that feel like truth. You must sacrifice to be good. You can't rest until you've earned it. You should be grateful for crumbs, but you don't have to keep believing those. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine your life as a garden. Scarcity is like dry soil. No matter how hard you try to grow something in it, the roots struggle. You may plant dreams, ideas, efforts, but they can't bloom in cracked, thirsty earth. That's not your failure, it's the soil. So the first healing is in the tending. Start small. Water your inner world. Breathe in deeply. Inhale the truth that you are allowed to feel safe, even before everything is figured out. Here's a simple tool you can use today. It's called the enough breath. Close your eyes again. Inhale slowly through your nose and whisper inwardly, "I am enough." Then exhale gently through your mouth and say, "This moment is enough." Repeat it softly until you feel the weight in your chest loosen. You don't need to chase abundance. You need to remember it lives inside you. This chapter was never about fixing your bank account. It's about reconnecting to your inner abundance, the kind that doesn't fluctuate with a paycheck, the kind that doesn't come and go with approval, the kind that simply is. And here's the truth that scarcity never wanted you to hear. You have always deserved more than survival. You have always been worthy of peace. You have always been allowed to rest. Let that truth settle like sunlight through a window, warm, still. You are not small because of your bank account. You are not empty because of what the world has withheld. You are whole And slowly you are learning how to receive. Let this be your affirmation. I release the weight of scarcity. I remember that I am safe. I trust that I am enough. And from this place, I receive. Now, let's walk gently forward to what's always been yours. Chapter 2. You were never meant to settle. There's a quiet ache that comes from settling. Not the loud kind, not the one that storms into your life and demands your attention, but the kind that shows up in tiny ways. The sigh before you open your wallet, the tight smile when someone asks how things are going, the numb acceptance of, I guess this is just the way life is. It's subtle, but it's real. Settling doesn't always look like giving up. Sometimes it looks like coping too well. Like adapting to less, like shrinking your needs until they no longer inconvenience anyone else. But you weren't born to survive on scraps. You weren't meant to carry your worth like a negotiation. You were not designed to spend your life sacrificing your peace to prove your value. Somewhere along the way, maybe you started believing that joy was a luxury, that dreaming too big made you ungrateful, that asking for more made you selfish. But you are allowed to want more, not from greed, but from wholeness. You are allowed to grow beyond the spaces that no longer fit you. You are allowed to outgrow the life that once felt safe, and still love who you were when you built it. Settling is not surrender. It's forgetting. Forgetting that you are a living, breathing reflection of potential, that your life isn't meant to be a waiting room. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine a bird born in a cage. It stretches its wings inside the bars, thinking that's all there is. It sees glimpses of the sky, but the bars become familiar, and when the door finally opens, it hesitates. Settling is the hesitation. You've lived so long in survival mode that thriving feels risky. You've lived in so much just enough that more feels like a trap. But what if the door is already open? What if the next step isn't reckless? It's remembering. Take a slow breath with me now. Breathe in and whisper, I am remembering who I am. Exhale and say, I am safe to want more. Again. Let it soften you. Let it settle. You see, settling often begins when your nervous system learns that dreaming feels dangerous. When rejection hurts so badly that you stop reaching. When failure taught you to only aim where success is certain. But here's the truth. Safety doesn't come from playing small. It comes from trust. Not in the world, but in your own ability to rise, to recalibrate, to begin again. And beginning again doesn't mean starting over. It means returning to yourself, to your courage, to your deeper knowing. Let's try a tool. It's called the remembering letter. Take a journal or blank page. At the top, write, I was never meant to settle because, then let the words come. Without editing, without shame. Let your deeper self speak. The version of you that existed before fear taught you to be quiet. Let her write. Let her roar. Let her remember. And if the words don't come yet, just sit. Hold the pen. You are still listening. That, too, is healing. You do not owe the world your silence. You do not owe life your compromise. You are not here to be palatable. You are not here to prove. You are here to live. Fully, softly, boldly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are awakening. And when the temptation comes to settle again, when life offers you the familiar discomfort of almost, place your hand on your heart and whisper, I remember who I am. I trust the sky outside the cage. I am not here to shrink. I am here to soar. That is your truth. That is your birthright. That is the beginning. Chapter 3. The invisible cage of comparison. You can feel it even when you're not looking for it. A glimpse at someone else's life. The highlight reel. the laughter, the milestones, and something inside you sinks. Not because you're ungrateful, not because you're jealous, but because some small voice whispers, "Why not me?" Comparison is quiet and cruel. It slips in unnoticed and builds walls around your worth. You scroll, you watch, you nod politely, and then you wonder if you're behind. You wonder if you're broken. You wonder if what you have is enough. But what if I told you that comparison is a mirror made of smoke? It reflects pieces, fragments, illusions, never the whole story. Everyone's life looks shinier at a distance. Pain gets filtered, loneliness gets cropped, struggles get softened. And so you compare your raw, aching heart to someone else's edited light, and you think you're the one who's failing. You are not. Let's picture this. Imagine walking through a museum. Each painting unique, each frame different. You wouldn't stand in front of a Monet and say, "Why doesn't it look like the Van Gogh?" You would understand. They were created from different palettes, different strokes, different storms. So why do you treat your life like it must match someone else's canvas? Comparison is the invisible cage. It looks open, but it traps your joy. The truth is, your path has always been yours. Not better, not worse. Just sacred. Just unfolding in its own sacred rhythm. Take a deep breath in, exhale slowly. Say to yourself, "My timing is not late. My story is not wrong." Here's a tool for this moment. I call it the circle of enough. Close your eyes and imagine drawing a circle around yourself. With your breath, with your energy, with your awareness. In this circle, only truth is allowed. Within this circle, your journey is valid. Within this circle, your progress is real. Within this circle, you are already enough. And when you find yourself spiraling, when the world feels like a scoreboard, pause. Place your hand gently over your chest. Feel your heartbeat. It's yours. It doesn't rush. It doesn't compete. It simply is. Comparison can't survive where truth lives. It needs distance, distortion, disconnection. But you are here. You are present. You are connected to your own ground. Repeat after me. I no longer shrink to match illusions. I release the lie of not enough. My life is unfolding in sacred time. I walk in my own light, at my own pace. And when the world tempts you to measure your worth, step back into your circle. Reclaim your rhythm. Let the mirror of smoke dissolve. Because you were never meant to be a copy. You were made to be whole. Chapter 4. Fear disguised as responsibility. There's a kind of fear that doesn't feel like fear. It doesn't make your hands shake. It doesn't send your heart racing. It shows up dressed in duty, wrapped in logic, masked as maturity. It says things like, "Be realistic. You can't risk that right now. Think of everything that could go wrong," and you listen. Because you're responsible. Because you've always carried more than you should. Because someone had to keep things together. But what if that voice isn't responsibility at all? What if it's fear, dressed in grown-up clothes? You've been so careful, so measured. You've made sacrifices. You've delayed dreams. You've stayed quiet when your soul wanted to scream, simply because you thought that was the right thing to do. But sometimes, the right thing is just the safe thing, the thing that feels familiar, the thing that keeps you from taking the leap. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine a dam holding back a great river. It's sturdy, structured, predictable. But that river, it's not meant to be contained. It's meant to flow, to nourish, to move. Fear disguised as responsibility is that dam. It keeps everything in, while slowly draining your spirit, You've been told not to rock the boat, but maybe the boat isn't going anywhere because you've never allowed yourself to paddle toward what you really want. You are not irresponsible for wanting more. You are not selfish for choosing joy. You are not reckless for imagining a life that feels like freedom. Take a slow breath. Inhale, I trust myself. Exhale, it is safe to grow. Let's try a healing tool. It's called the gentle yes. Think of something your heart has wanted for a long time. Not something loud, something quiet, soft, maybe hidden beneath layers of not now. Name it. Whisper it if you must, and then say gently, yes. Yes, I see you. No action yet, just acknowledgement. You see, when you begin to see your dreams not as threats, but as invitations, your life begins to shift. Responsibility doesn't mean abandoning yourself. It means tending to yourself with care, with honesty, with presence. You don't need to dismantle everything overnight, but you can begin by asking, is this decision based on love or on fear? Let that question guide you. Let it soften you. Let it lead you back to your truth. And when the pressure rises, when the old story returns, remember this. I am not here just to carry weight. I am here to feel light. I am not just here to serve others. I am here to honor myself. Responsibility without soul becomes a cage, but responsibility with soul becomes freedom, and you are allowed to be free. Chapter 5. The guilt that blocks receiving. There's a strange feeling that rises when life offers you something good, a compliment, a helping hand, an opportunity. For a moment, your heart opens, but then guilt seeps in. Do I really deserve this? Am I taking too much? What if someone else needs it more? You smile politely. You say, thank you, but deep down, you're already trying to give it back. Guilt is a thief in soft clothing. It whispers that you must earn what should be freely received. It teaches you to associate receiving with shame, and over time, it convinces you that asking, even wanting, is selfish. But here's the truth. Receiving is not taking. Receiving is not stealing. Receiving is breathing in life. You wouldn't tell a flower not to soak up the sunlight. You wouldn't scold the ocean for receiving the rain. So why do you question your own ability to be open? To take in joy, softness, love, money, peace? Let's use a metaphor. Imagine your life as a cup. Guilt is the tiny crack in the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it slowly leaks away. You become tired, not because you're empty, but because you're never allowed to stay full. But guilt is learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Breathe with me now. Inhale, I am allowed to receive. Exhale, I am safe to hold goodness. Here's a simple but powerful practice. It's called permission to receive. Sit quietly with your hands open in your lap, palms facing up. Feel the openness of that posture. How natural it feels. How childlike. How trusting. Now say gently, aloud or within, I give myself permission to receive joy without owing, to receive rest without apology, to receive abundance without guilt. Let those words echo through your nervous system. Let them soften old beliefs. Let them remind you that receiving is not a burden. It's a balance. You are not here to only give. You are not here to empty yourself into every space. You are here to be filled too, to be held, to be nourished. Guilt is a shadow, but you are the light. You were not born to carry guilt for every good thing that enters your life. You were born to receive with gratitude and with open hands. Let this affirmation guide you. I am worthy of receiving. I am allowed to feel full. I release guilt, and I welcome grace. Let it settle. Let it rise like warmth in your chest. You do not owe anyone your exhaustion. You do not need to explain your blessings. Receiving is your return to wholeness. Chapter 6. When busy becomes a trap. There's a moment, maybe it happens mid-afternoon, maybe late at night, when the world finally quiets and you're left alone with yourself. And in that stillness, you feel a twinge, a discomfort, an ache you can't quite name. So you pick up your phone, check your inbox, scroll, clean, anything but sit with that silence. Because somewhere along the way, busy became a shield. You wear it like armor, tasks, responsibilities, calendars full of things that look important but feel empty. And people praise you for it. They call you productive, reliable, strong, but deep down, you're tired. Not just body tired, soul tired. Because you've confused being needed with being worthy. You've mistaken movement for meaning. And now, even when there's nothing left to do, you feel guilty for resting. But what if busy isn't proof of value? What if it's just a beautifully disguised escape? Let's imagine this differently. Picture a spinning top. As long as it's moving, it balances. But once it slows, it wobbles, then falls. You've been taught that stillness is the danger, that slowing down means losing control, but in truth, stillness is the only place you can hear your heart. So pause, breathe in gently, exhale with intention. Say softly to yourself, I am not my busyness. You don't have to prove yourself through pace. You don't need to earn your existence through exhaustion. Here's a simple practice. I call it the sacred stop. Once a day for just 5 minutes, stop everything. No music, no screens, no multitasking. Sit, breathe, notice. It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might hear your mind trying to rush in, telling you there's more to do. That's okay. Just whisper back, this moment is mine. Because it is. Stillness is not laziness. It's listening. It's returning. It's where clarity waits patiently for you to notice it again. You were not created to constantly hustle. You were not born to burn out. You are not a machine. You are a soul. Craving quiet, craving meaning, craving your own attention. And when you find yourself lost in the cycle of doing, ask, is this busy? Or is this avoidance? Is this survival? Or alignment? Let that honesty open you. And as we close this chapter, hold this gentle truth. I am allowed to rest. I am valuable in stillness. I no longer chase meaning, I create space for it. And I am safe, even when I'm not busy. Let the world spin. You don't have to keep spinning with it. Chapter 7. The lie of I'm not ready. It's a phrase that slips out almost unconsciously. I'm not ready. You say it when an idea excites you, but scares you. You whisper it when someone believes in you more than you believe in yourself. You wrap it around your dreams like a soft blanket of protection, convincing yourself that waiting is wisdom. But if you peel it back, if you listen closer, you might hear something underneath that phrase. Fear, perfectionism, the echo of old wounds that once told you, you'll never be enough. You see, I'm not ready is often a lie that wears the mask of caution. It convinces you that one more certification, one more plan, one more round of self-doubt will make you finally worthy of beginning. But readiness isn't a finish line. It's a decision. It's standing in the middle of the unknown and saying, even now I begin. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine the earth before spring. The soil doesn't look ready. It's still cold, still hard, still holding the memory of winter. But beneath the surface, something is stirring, quietly, powerfully, inevitable. You are that soil, and you are more ready than you know. Take a breath. Inhale slowly. I am ready enough. Exhale gently. I begin now. You don't need perfect clarity. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need the next breath and the next small, sacred step. Here's a healing tool. It's called Begin Anyway. Think of something you've delayed. A dream, a decision, a leap you keep postponing in the name of readiness. Now ask, what would beginning look like if I didn't wait to feel ready? Write one sentence. Take one action. Make one imperfect move. Let that be your readiness, because here's what's true. Growth doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask if you feel qualified. It grows, because that's what it was born to do. And so were you. Readiness will meet you on the path, not before you start walking. It is not something you earn, it is something you claim. Repeat this to yourself, softly, as many times as you need. I am ready in my becoming. I am ready in my uncertainty. I am ready even when I'm scared. Because the truth is, I've been ready for a long time. You don't need a perfect moment. This is the moment. Chapter 8. You don't have to be everything for everyone. There's a weight you've been carrying, quietly, constantly, and maybe you've gotten so used to it that you don't even notice it anymore. The weight of being the one, the strong one, the reliable one, the helper, the fixer, the one who always shows up, even when your own soul is worn thin. You learned, perhaps, early on, that your value came from what you could offer, that love had to be earned through sacrifice. That peace wasn't something you claimed. It was something you gave to others, even if it meant stealing it from yourself. And so you became everything for everyone. You stretched, you bent, you poured from a cup that never got refilled. And now, you wonder why you feel so tired, so unseen, so hollow. Let me tell you something gently but truthfully. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to carry the emotional weight of other people's lives just to prove that you matter. You don't have to rescue, impress, or overextend yourself to be worthy of love. You don't have to be everything. You are allowed to be just you. Imagine a tree, tall, rooted, full of branches. It provides shade, yes. It offers shelter, yes. But it doesn't chase after those who rest beneath it. It doesn't twist itself into unnatural shapes just to make everyone comfortable. It simply stands, firm, steady, whole. You are that tree. You do not need to contort yourself to be loved. You do not need to sacrifice your boundaries to stay needed. Take a breath now. Let it be deep, nourishing, grounding. Inhale gently and think, I am allowed to rest. Exhale softly and whisper, I don't have to carry it all. Here's a tool to help you begin releasing that pressure. I call it the gentle no. The next time someone asks for something that drains you, pause. Before answering, place your hand over your heart and ask, if I say yes, what part of me will I abandon? If the answer feels heavy, let that be your guide. Your no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you honest. It makes you whole. Sometimes the greatest kindness you can offer the world is your authenticity, not your exhaustion, not your people-pleasing, not your martyrdom, your truth. You are not meant to save everyone. You are meant to honor yourself. And when you do that, truly, tenderly, you show others how to do the same. You model boundaries. You model balance. You model what it looks like to live with an open heart that also knows how to close its doors when needed. So here's your affirmation, one to repeat softly whenever the world begins asking too much of you. I am enough, even when I rest. I am worthy, even when I say no. I do not exist to be everything for everyone. I exist to be whole, for myself. Let that truth settle in your bones. Let it lift the weight. Let it remind you that your life is not a service counter. It is a sacred space. Chapter 9. Replacing desperation with trust. There is a difference between wanting something and clinging to it. Desperation feels tight, shaky, urgent. It lives in your chest like a knot that won't loosen. It whispers that time is running out, that you're falling behind, that if you don't hustle harder, try more, push faster, it'll all slip away. You start chasing opportunities, approval, love, money, and the more you chase, the more it runs, because desperation doesn't attract, it repels, it pushes life away, not because you're unworthy, but because your energy is rooted in fear, not trust. Let's be honest. That fear comes from deep places, childhood moments where love was conditional, scarcity that taught you to grab what you could or risk having nothing, failures that carved doubt into your self-belief. So now, even when life offers something good, you hold your breath, waiting for it to disappear. But what if you didn't need to grip so tightly? What if letting go didn't mean giving up, but finally allowing space for something better to come in? Picture a river. Desperation is like trying to dam the water, grasping every drop with your hands, afraid it'll dry up. But trust? Trust is becoming the river, flowing, open, receptive, knowing that what's meant to reach you will, and what leaves was never truly yours. Take a long breath with me now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Inhale with the words, I am safe, and exhale with, I let go. Here's a practice to shift your energy. I call it the open hands ritual. Find a quiet moment. Sit with your palms facing upward, fingers gently relaxed. Say aloud or silently, I release the need to control everything. I surrender what is heavy. I trust the timing of my life. Feel that openness, not weakness, strength, not passivity, wisdom. Trust doesn't mean you stop showing up. It means you stop straining. It means you align with the truth that what is for you cannot pass you. It means you know that rushing isn't the same as receiving. You are not desperate. You are divine. You are not late. You are right on time. You are not empty. You are ready. So when the fear returns, and it will, don't fight it. Just breathe. Just remind yourself, I don't chase. I align. I don't beg. I believe. I don't force. I allow. And let this be your closing affirmation. I replace fear with faith. I replace urgency with calm. I replace desperation with trust. And I walk forward, gently open to all that's meant for me. Let that trust hold you like warm water. Let it carry you to the next becoming. Chapter 10. What if you believed you were worthy? Pause for a moment. Let this question linger, not just in your mind, but in your body. What if you believed you were truly worthy? Not conditionally, not someday, not when you lose the weight, pay off the debt, prove yourself, or earn more, but right now, as you are, breathing, becoming, still unfinished, still growing, still worthy. That idea might feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable, because for so long you've been taught that worth is something you earn, that it comes after doing, not before, that it's a prize at the end of a long road, not the foundation you were born with. But what if all of that was never true? What if your worth is like the sky, vast, untouched, constant, whether the clouds come or go? You've likely internalized the belief that value is tied to achievement, that rest is a reward, that joy is something you must justify, and so you've hustled, you've overgiven, you've said yes when you meant no, you've buried your own needs under someone else's expectations, all in the hope that maybe, finally, it would be enough. But worth is not a transaction. It is a truth, and that truth lives in your bones. Let's imagine it together. Picture a newborn, untouched by the world's opinions, free from achievements, holding nothing but breath and presence, and yet completely worthy of love. of care, of peace. You were that once, and you still are. Take a breath, let it be full, let it be free. Inhale with the words, I was born worthy. Exhale with, nothing can change that. Here's a gentle tool for this chapter. I call it the mirror moment. At the end of your day, stand in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes, not with critique, not with analysis, but with presence, and say, I see you, I honor you, you are enough. Even now, don't rush it, don't force it. Just let it settle, even if your mind doesn't fully believe it yet. Your heart will understand. Because it's been waiting for this truth to return home. The more you repeat it, the more that inner wall of self-doubt begins to soften. The more your energy begins to align with receiving, not begging. The more your choices reflect love, not lack. Worthiness doesn't mean you won't grow. It means you can grow from a place of wholeness, not from fear. And when you believe you're worthy, you stop tolerating what drains you. You stop shrinking to stay accepted. You stop betraying yourself just to belong. Because when your inner compass is set to truth, your entire life begins to shift. Let this be your affirmation. Whisper it, write it, return to it often. I am not broken. I am becoming. I do not have to earn love. I already am love. I am worthy of more than survival. I am worthy of softness, of support, of abundance. I believe in my own enoughness, even if no one else does. Hold that gently in your heart. You are not here to prove, you are here to remember. Chapter 11, Creating Safety Inside. First, you've spent so much of your life searching for safety, in people, in plans, in routines, in control. You've clung to certainty like a lifeline, believing that if you could just keep everything in place, you'd finally feel okay. But the world shifts. People leave, plans fall apart, and control? It's a beautiful illusion that often slips through your fingers just when you need it most. So where does that leave you? Maybe you've felt like the ground keeps moving under your feet. Like every time you begin to trust life again, something unexpected knocks the wind out of you. And so you brace yourself. You stay alert, you overthink, you wait for the other shoe to drop, just to soften the blow. But here's the truth, gently spoken. You were never meant to find safety outside of yourself. You were meant to create it from the inside out. Safety isn't the absence of chaos. It's the presence of self-trust. It's the knowing that no matter what happens, you will not abandon yourself. Imagine a lighthouse in the middle of a stormy sea. Waves crash, winds howl, but the light doesn't flicker. It stands steady, not because the storm disappears, but because its power comes from within. You are that lighthouse, and you've had that light all along. Take a breath now. Let it go deeper than the others. Let it wrap around your nervous system like a warm blanket. Inhale softly with, I am safe inside myself. Exhale with, I return to my center. Let's try a practice. I call it the inner grounding. Sit somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Breathe. Feel the rise and fall. Then whisper gently, I am here. Say it again, I am here. Let the words become an anchor. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to control what's outside you. You only need to return to yourself. Because safety isn't something the world can hand you. It's something you claim. Every time you choose to stay soft in a hard moment. Every time you give yourself grace instead of judgment. Every time you speak to yourself kindly when fear wants to take over. And when the storms come, and they will, remind yourself, I am my own safe place. I am allowed to slow down. I am allowed to feel and still be okay. I am safe not because life is perfect, but because I trust myself to face it. Let that be your truth now. Not because nothing will hurt again, but because you know that even when it does, you have the tools, the strength, and the softness to hold yourself through it. You are not just surviving anymore. You are creating sanctuary from within. Chapter 12. Becoming a magnet for enough. There comes a point in your journey where you begin to realize that what you've been chasing is something you've always deserved. You've run after love, approval, stability, success. You've worked harder, done more, given your all, yet still felt like it was never quite enough. But what if you paused, right here, and considered a softer truth? What if you didn't have to chase? What if you could attract? You see, the energy of enoughness is quiet but magnetic. It's not found in perfection. It's not achieved through striving. It's cultivated by alignment. When your beliefs, actions, and energy align with trust, you begin to draw toward you what once felt out of reach. But first, you must stop sending the signal of lack. When your mind is fixated on what you don't have, money, time, love, peace, your energy becomes a mirror for scarcity. You begin to see it everywhere. You feel behind. You compare, you tighten, and slowly your world contracts. But when you begin to believe, not just mentally but somatically, that you are already enough, you become magnetic. You soften, you open, and the world responds, not to your desperation, but to your grounded wholeness. Let's picture a garden again. When the soil is rich, the roots grow deeper. When the sun is steady, the blossoms open without effort. That's what your life becomes when you live from enough. Not someday, not externally, but right now, from within. Take a long, nourishing breath. Inhale with, I am already enough. Exhale with, I attract peace, ease, and abundance. Here's a gentle tool, I call it the enough list. Each morning or evening, write 3 simple truths about your current life that affirm your abundance. They don't have to be big. A warm meal, a soft bed, a friend who texts you just to say they care. These moments are proof that you are already held, that you are not lacking, that you are living within a field of enough. And if your mind still clings to the fear that you'll never have more, remind it kindly, more comes when I honor what is. You do not have to be louder, richer, thinner, smarter, or more productive to deserve a life of fullness. You only have to begin aligning with the energy that says, I belong to this life, just as I am. And as your energy shifts, your boundaries will too. You'll stop saying yes to things that drain you. You'll stop chasing people who only give you fragments. You'll stop proving, performing, and pleasing. Because enough people don't beg, they bloom. And enough hearts don't grip, they open. Let this affirmation guide you gently. I no longer chase what is already mine. I am aligned with the frequency of enough. I receive with ease. I bloom where I'm rooted, and I trust. What belongs to me is already on its way. Let those words wrap around you. You are not waiting anymore. You are welcoming. You are becoming magnetic. You are becoming whole.